Hello to our Facebook community and welcome back to Cruise Express Connections. We're pleased to see you again tonight. It's lovely to have you with us. So Meg, what exotic and beautiful destination are we going to talk about today?
Well, not so much a destination, but perhaps one of the most talked about topics at the present time. We're talking all things cancellations, refunds, and future travel credits tonight.
Well, this week's topic is obviously less inspiring than the Kimberley and other discussions we held over the recent weeks, but nonetheless, it's very interesting, especially for those of you who've had their holiday plans cancelled, taken away, and many of you are, of course, directly affected by this.
Yes, sadly, the travel industry has been very hard hit, and you, our clients, have borne the brunt of this in terms of so many of your plans being put on hold. The number of cancellations that we're dealing with is actually growing, building every day. This has been our reality and yours too since February, March. And I want to take a moment tonight to first of all say that whilst we apologise for the time this is taking to unwind everybody's travel plans and so on, it perhaps bears a little bit of explaining too. I sort of talked this through with our staff some weeks ago and said the reality of the situation is that our industry and the systems that we work with on a daily basis were simply not designed to cope with the number of cancellations that have come our way in recent weeks, whether that's cruises, airline bookings, land arrangements and so on. This is cancellation on a mass scale like we've never seen before. And it's quite a complex situation as well, in that many people didn't just have one type of travel booked. In many cases, it was a combination of air travel, cruising, perhaps
Land,
holidays, hotel stays, or car hire, and so on. And consequently, what we're also doing in that unwinding process is asking for money back on your behalf, for refunds and so on, back from numerous suppliers that are situated in lots of different locations, all over the world. We have suppliers that we're having to recall monies from. And the other thing, of course, is that because all of this has been created as a result of the pandemic, many businesses are working in very different situations. So, for example, they may be working with reduced staff. Certainly a lot of those staff are working on reduced hours. And in many cases working remotely as well.
Like our team.
Yes, like our team, in a way that we've not ever worked before, and nor were we expecting to. And suddenly, so many of these businesses have had to completely rework the way the daily working situation actually is. So, as I say, these are not excuses, but it is the reality of the situation. So,
Well, the Cruise Express team, of course, is really committed to look after you, and we're here for as long as it takes to unwind all these bookings and whatever it takes to protect our clients' interests. Every week there are more bookings added because of the effects of the pandemic. Like today, we just had a lovely email cancelling 200 bookings of clients that were supposed to go on a music cruise in October, November. Sadly, their holiday dreams are gone as the sailings have now been cancelled. Every supplier, unfortunately, has got their own rules and different offers in place. Our team is across all of that and have been working enormous hours to service you, our client. On that note, I think they've done an amazing job, and I want to thank our team for the hard efforts that they've put in over the last few weeks with dealing not such nice part of the travel industry, having to talk to clients that want their money back and asking for their refunds. It's an enormous task, and they have just put such an effort in, and I can't thank them enough for assisting us through this. Meg, yes, between the cruise lines, there are different cancellation and refund rules.
Absolutely. I mean, we are starting to see some commonality with this. What we're tending to see is that the Australian and US based cruise lines are tending to give people the choice of either a refund or a future travel credit. And in some cases, those credits have an extra value.
Value added.
Yeah, and we'll perhaps talk about that in a little more detail shortly. On the flip side, we're finding that with the European cruise lines, often there is only the option of a future travel credit. Refunds don't seem to be such an opportunity with the European operators, and based on their local laws and rules and regulations, that is the reality of the situation. In addition to that, when it comes to land operators, also in many cases they are based overseas, and on that, in that sense, again, it's often future travel credits that we are being able to realise for clients rather than full refunds. Or refunds at all, to be honest.
Well, Meg, I had the pleasure of dedicating my time for the last few weeks to insurance claims. Now, that's a lovely subject. I've been working and have assisted many of our travellers with their claims. We had to create cost breakdowns for the insurance companies and detailed reports of what the loss is, how much comes back, how much refund is expected. Very sadly, only a few of our clients have actually been successful with an insurance claim. Many insurers already had it in the policy, and this must have started after SARS a few years ago, that they will not cover pandemic, and hence they're declining any refund situation. But it shows that without your travel agent or without your agent, you're on your own. I had an interesting situation. A client came back to me and said the travel insurance needs a letter from the airline to say that airfare was non-refundable. Now, the airfare was booked with a South American carrier. It was $295. Now, you tell me how you're going to get a letter out of this, perhaps smaller airline, larger airline, doesn't matter whether big or large. You will not get a statement from an airline addressed to you personally or to your insurance company. So what I ended up doing, I provided our client with a statement from us saying that the client was booked on a non-refundable fare, there's no refund to come back, and the total loss is $295. And believe it or not, the insurance, so they should, the insurance company recognized this as an official statement which was strong enough to actually process the refund.
Yeah.
So a very interesting scenario, but a lot of clients are very lost on their own. If you've made your booking on your own, it's a real struggle to see through all the red tape and find the right answers to some of the questions. So we've spent enormous hours on this because we had several groups away at the time. We put enormous efforts behind assisting our clients to actually lodge the claim and endeavour to get some money back, whether successful or not successful.
I think that's a really important thing, that if anybody is struggling with putting together a claim, or if they have any questions, or particularly if the insurance company comes back to you and asks for more information, don't hesitate to approach us. Don't hesitate to, even if it's just to ask our opinion of something.
Just to show the volume of this, like some companies have been back to me like 5 and 6 times with further clarification, which we've provided. And that's a service we have provided absolutely free of charge. So, Meg, you mentioned the future cruise credit. Can you tell us how that actually works?
Well, this is perhaps the silver lining at the moment as we work our way through the cancellation process for so many of our clients. And, you know, when so many of you have been forced to cancel your holiday plans, which is, you know, the hardest part of all of this, we are thankfully starting to see a number of future travel credits and primarily future cruise credits pass through the system, and we're being notified of that information. So we have our team working at the moment on creating future travel certificates for all of our clients who are entitled to that value of travel in the future. I thought I would actually just take a moment to show you what that certificate looks like. So it has all of the information that's personalised to you to show your name, the value of your voucher, the associated reference numbers and so on, and most importantly the validity of the credit, because each of the travel operators and cruise lines tends to set their own time period in which you can use the credit, so that's very clearly outlined for you as well. And then a number of terms and conditions, because of course each of the suppliers has their own terms and conditions around using your voucher in the future. So as I say, the team are working to put those all together and get them out to you as soon as possible. The great thing is that it has all of our contact information and makes it really simple for you to come back to us when you're ready to make your new booking and fully utilise those credits.
Meg, so you're talking silver lining. What sort of incentives are the cruise lines actually offering?
So again, that does vary from cruise line to cruise line, but generally speaking, what we're seeing is that on those bookings where you might have only paid a deposit, there is a credit to the full value of that deposit, so effectively a 100% credit. When it comes to the situation where you might have paid in, where you've paid in full rather, there might be more of an incentive, if you like, to take a future cruise credit rather than requesting a refund. And we're seeing future cruise credits with a value of 125 up to 150% of the original amount of money that people have paid.
And the deposited money doubles?
In some cases, yes, but not always. Not always. I mean, again, the good thing is that in every instance, that information is available for people upfront. So you have the opportunity to really consider your options and then make the decision from there. But I mean, if you're talking about a 150% future cruise credit based on what you originally paid, that's a pretty good return on your original investment.
Where do you get more than 2% these days? But
Absolutely.
Meg, where's that money actually sitting?
So in almost all cases, the money is sitting with the cruise line. And at the point that you then decide what you are wishing to do, then we approach the cruise line on your behalf, and they will lock in the new booking for you and apply the future cruise credit. So
it's secured with the cruise line?
Absolutely. The money is secured with each of the individual cruise lines.
Well, it's a very complex situation, and I understand how hard it is for our clients to work through this.
As you said earlier, that's why we're here for you. That's why you call upon the expertise and the experiences of a travel agent that will help you work through these complexities, help you to use your future travel certificates, and hopefully, be booking another holiday as soon as possible.
Well, Meg, I hope we have provided our audience tonight with some helpful information. If you have questions, of course, we will be happy to reply to you. And our team will be happy to assist you with your personal requirements. But I guess at the moment we do have to ask for your patience. The volume is beyond anything we have ever seen. Hopefully we can turn this all around in 2021 and have as many bookings coming in as we're getting cancellations at the moment.
Absolutely. Given the volume of work that we have to undertake, as Hardy mentioned, a series of cruises just cancelled today that will impact more than 200 of our clients. We've decided that we're going to take a break from Connexions just for next week and sort of regroup, I suppose, is perhaps the best way of putting it. We've absolutely had so much fun presenting the last few weeks, and we fully intend to be back again. But if you'll indulge us to just take next Thursday off, I think that will probably be the best situation for us.
And all I can say, it is happy hour in our office at 5:30 in the afternoon. Meg, his cheers, and to you all the best, and happy days ahead. Maybe be on board those lovely cruise ships sooner than later. Happy days.
We look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Be safe.
Cheers.